Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we are finally doing the foundation ranking video. I have 13 foundations that I've tried over the last few months. 13 foundations and we're gonna rank them. Some of these are brand new foundations. Some of these are older foundations that I have just not tried or that I'm retrying. There's a good mix here. A lot of these are on the newer side, like even if they're not brand new, a lot of them are newer. Do you know what I mean? So, okay, we're gonna be ranking 13 foundations. This was a roller coaster ride. I don't think I've ever done anything like this before where like I've tried products specifically to rank them and thus like kept all of these notes and like how I feel about them, and it is interesting. I think, and I'm not 100% sure about this, but I might end up doing like a full-on foundation like tag and declutter and just kind of make a whole thing with this and really nail down what I like and kind of have like my perfect foundation drawer. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I might do that. What do you guys think? Would you be interested in that? All right, we're gonna jump into the rankings here because I'm excited about this. I found some really good holy grail foundations, and I found some that, while shocking to me, I just can't with. I cannot, okay? Also though, I have like other foundations, and I started buying more foundations because my foundation drawer is just looking a little light, right? And that's what kind of prompted all of this. And it is really interesting. It's making me look at buying foundations differently. Like seeing so many in one kind of condensed area instead of just in my foundation drawer, right? Seeing so many really is making me look at how I want to purchase foundations in the future because it's really helping me figure out what I like. I'm normally very into matte skin, and this is showing me that I'm not so much anymore. I like the dewier skin. Now ironically, I do also have a couple of newer ones, the Rare Beauty and the Kosas, and then I think one other one that I have not tried yet, and then I still have my foundation drawer that realistically I should probably go through. So let me know if you want more foundation videos. Now that I said that twice, let's jump into this. The number one, holy grail, the Sweet 13. That doesn't work as well, but it's okay. KVD Good Apple. I have already repurchased this. I've already hit pan because it is like a potted, like a panned cream product. I've already hit pan. It's a decent pan too. And I've already repurchased it. This is amazing. This is what I took to Disney with me. This is in the shade Light 015. The new one that I purchased is in a light, I think it's like 12, which I bought because I thought that that's the shade that I was in. And I haven't tried it yet, but it looks similar enough. It should be okay. But this is amazing. I don't love the price of this because it's like $45 and it's only 0.35 ounces of product. You don't need very much, but it's still kind of disheartening, but it's really good. This is amazing. It feels great on the skin. It goes on so well. It has the most amazing coverage. This went viral on TikTok for the coverage, and there is a reason for that because it has the best coverage, but it doesn't feel like super heavy, right? It just feels so nice. Like you're putting on, I don't even know how to describe it. It feels so great. I love this foundation. This is seriously probably one of my all-time favorite foundations that I've ever tried. You can apply it with a sponge, you can apply it with a brush. I normally do a brush and then kind of like blend it out at the end with a sponge. That's normally what I do for any foundation, but this is amazing, incredible. Number one, right off the bat. You can't beat it. I mean, it's one of my favorite foundations ever. In the number two spot, we have a tie, because I really can't decide. So I have the Urban Decay Hydra Maniac. This is phenomenal, and I didn't expect to like this because it's really not something that I feel like I would normally go for. But the reviews on it were really good, so I decided to get it. It says medium coverage, up to 24-hour wear. It's a tinted glow hydrator, okay? It's very lightweight. It's very glowy. It reminds me a lot of the Huda Beauty Glowish, but almost a little bit more like summer-esque, if that makes sense. It's almost a little bit lighter, right? And not as like in your face glow, but it still does have, it gives you like a nice kind of sun-kissed glow, if that makes sense. It makes the skin so luminous. If you like the Huda Beauty Glowish, you'd probably like this one. And if the Huda Beauty Glowish was a little bit too much for you, I would recommend trying out this one because this is, I think, going to be your best bet if you want like a really hydrating, glowy, skin tinted product. This is going to be, I don't know which one I like more, this or the Huda Beauty Glowish, because I love the Glowish, but this is really good. And comparing this to the Huda Beauty Glowish, it does have a little bit more coverage. So Huda Beauty Glowish is a little bit less coverage and a little bit more glow. This is a little bit more coverage and a little bit less glow, if that makes sense. Like I said, if you like Huda Beauty, but it's just not quite right, this is the one that I would go for. This is my number two ranking, but it is tied for something. I love this so much. This is one that I could definitely see myself repurchasing. It's a great summer foundation. I love it. However, the It Cosmetics CC Plus Nude Glow. You guys, I am obsessed with this. And I can't decide which one I like more. I think that they both have their pros and cons, but I really do genuinely like both of them. This feels like nothing. And I did a whole video where I tried this out, and it literally feels like you're putting nothing on your skin. You guys know the It Cosmetics CC Plus, just the regular one or the illumination one or the matte one, I'm not picky. Those are my holy grail foundations. And this is quite amazing. I have purchased so many of the OG ones, like so just repurchased over and over and over again. What's interesting about this to me, and I mentioned this in the video where I tried it on, is this feels like nothing on the skin and it looks like nothing on the skin. So like when I had one side with this on and one side without this on, it was really hard to tell the difference, but you could still, it still provides coverage. It's an anomaly. I love it. It makes your skin look glowy. It makes it look flawless. This is probably my favorite of the CC creams that It Cosmetics has. But I really like this one too. I feel like if I could only pick one, I would probably go with the It Cosmetics, but genuinely, I love both of these. And just so you know, I'm in 20 Fair in this, and then I'm in Fair Light in this. Like I said, I'll have all the information, everything linked down below, but both of these are so good. This is a little bit more, maybe fuller coverage. Like I said, it does have coverage to it, but it feels like nothing. This is more of a tint, so it's gonna be lesser coverage. They're both so good. And my only concern with kind of comparing them together is they're not like dupes for each other, right? They're not super similar, but I love what both of them do to my skin. I love how they make my skin look. This one has an SPF of 40 in it, which is awesome. And this does have a brightening glow serum in it, so you're still gonna get a glowy vibe. I can't pick. I love them both. Okay, this is the newest one that I've tried. This is the Oma by Sharon C. So if you guys have been watching me, you know that the Oma Say What Hydrating Foundation is one of my favorite foundations as well. And I feel like I'm getting, as I get older and my skin is changing, I'm getting pickier about the foundations that I like, and you'll kind of see that going through here, because after this we're getting into the ones that are kind of mid-range, and I'm getting pickier about the foundations that I like, which I mean is kind of nice though, right? Because that'll help me kind of keep a smaller foundation collection. I don't know. Anyways, but the Oma Hydrating Skin Foundation, I love that one so much. It is a great foundation. It is a high-end foundation, so it is a little bit pricey. I happened to go to Walmart a couple months ago, and I don't normally go to Walmart. I can't remember what we went there before we went to Disney. We used to get snacks for the trips. So I don't normally go there, and while I was there, I was like, I'm gonna check out the makeup section and see what they've got. They had a whole display of Oma Beauty by Sharon C. I don't know exactly what that is. I don't know if that is kind of like a sister company to Oma, or if it's just a different line within Oma. I'm not 100% sure, but I found this. This is the Flawless IRL Skin Perfecting Foundation. I got the shade Fair Lady, which is the shade that I'm in the Hydrating, the Say What foundation. And I tried this out, and this is like $13. You guys, this is what I'm actually wearing today. I love the way that this looks on the skin. I think it looks so gorgeous. It lasts so well, and it wears so well throughout the day. This is honestly quite amazing, and I don't know how similar the formula is to the Oma Say What, but it kind of does the same thing on my skin, and I kind of love it. This was definitely not an expected thing for me. This is gonna be number 3 in my ranking. 1 is the best, by the way. Was that clear? This is number 3 because number 2 was a tie. But this I really did enjoy, and it was such a shock. It's such a nice, like, affordable foundation too. And I've never heard anybody talk about this. I've never heard of the Oma by Sharon C line before. So I don't know if it's like a newer thing or what. The only place I've ever seen it was at Walmart, and so I'm just not 100% sure. But if you go to Walmart, check this out. I'm gonna see if I can find it available online somewhere, but this is a really good one. It has really great coverage, and if you like the Oma Say What foundation, or if you've been wanting to try it, this is a really like close dupe to it, I guess, for a much cheaper alternative price. Number 4 is the Tarte C Hydroflex Serum Foundation. Mine is in the shade 12N Fair Neutral. I do think if I purchase this again, I'll probably get it in a little bit of a different shade. This works okay for me, but I feel like there's a better match for me out there. This is one that like you shake up. It's very fluid. It's a serum foundation, so it's very liquidy. And I've tried this for a while now, and I quite like it. I will say I do notice that when I wear it, as it goes on throughout the day, it does break up around my chin a little bit, but it's not super bad, and I touch my chin a lot throughout the day, so I'm kind of almost expecting that, you know? But I really like this. It's good coverage. for being a serum foundation. Much better than I thought it was going to be. And I actually tried this out in that Get Ready With Me that I did, the last one where I was talking about books. This is a foundation that I put on in that video. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure on the shade match, but this looks really nice on the skin. It's a really lightweight formula, again, because it's serum, but it gives you good like light to medium coverage. So I feel like coverage wise, this is really nice for a serum foundation. And I love these foundations. I mean, this is a new love, but I'm really realizing that I like these foundations for the summertime because they're so lightweight. It doesn't feel like you're packing a whole lot on your skin, but they make your skin look so good. You've got a good amount of coverage to cover any redness, any, discoloration, anything like that. But then it also gives you just a good glow, and I love that. And I feel like this is just going to be a great foundation for just everyday summer wear. So this is number 4 in my ranking. And again, I didn't have high hopes for this because I'm not normally a serum foundation person. I wasn't normally a serum foundation person, but I'm really getting into them now. All right, number 5 is the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop Blurring Skin Tint. Now this one is a little bit different. I did try this on in a YouTube video. I will link it up above here. I can't remember, was it? Oh, it was the full face of Fenty celebrating the fact that they're being sold at Ulta now, so it's a bit of an older video. But I did try this on during that video, and this was one of my favorite parts of that entire try on. A lot of the try on went wrong because like the eyeshadow palettes, I do not like those eyeshadow palettes, but this was one of these standout products for that. I do like this on its own, and I mentioned this on Instagram too. I love this with the Drunk Elephant Bronzy Drops. This looks fabulous. It really just elevates it up. So this is fine to wear on its own, but when I wear it, I would normally wear it with like the Drunk Elephant Bronzy Drops because it just makes it look so much better. It makes my skin look flawless when I wear it like that. It has very, very light coverage. This is considered to be a skin tint, so it does have very light coverage, but you can build this one up a little bit. There's not a whole lot because it is meant to be like a light coverage. It's a blurring skin tint. You can build it up a little bit, but if you're going to go for this, you just kind of have to expect that it's going to be on the lighter side of coverage. Like I said, if you want to add something to it, like the Drunk Elephant Bronzy Drops, in my personal opinion, that does kind of up the coverage a little bit, and it just like, oh, perfectifies, that's not a word, everything. Do you know what I mean? It just looks so good. So this is number 5 in my ranking. I really did enjoy this. This is probably one of my favorite Fenty products right now. It's a good all-around product, great for summertime. I don't think this is new. I had never heard of it before Fenty started being sold at Ulta, but from what I can see online, it's been around for quite a while, but it seems to have like a really good fan base. It's a good foundation. Number 6 is a 3-way tie, because I feel like all of these have kind of the same issue. Let's break it down a little bit. So I have the Stila Tinted Moisturizer Skim Balm in shade 1.0. This, I purchased this from TJ Maxx for like 10 bucks because it was very reminiscent of the KVD Good Apple Foundation Balm to me. And I was like, I want to see if it's kind of comparable. The issue with this is it is similar as far as like kind of texture and formula goes, but it is thicker and it doesn't blend out quite as easily as the KVD goes. So if you're comparing the two, this would be the thicker, heavier version. Now you can find this one at TJ Maxx though for a much more affordable price than this one is. You can also buy this one online, I'm pretty sure. The last time I checked you could. However, there are downsides to that because like I said, it is thicker, it is heavier. It's not the greatest. It's not bad though. It's just not great. Like had I tried this without ever trying the KVD, I probably would have really liked this. But because I've tried the KVD and I know that the Good Apple Foundation Balm is amazing, this just seems like a poorly executed, like try hard dupe, even though I think this one came out first. It's just not as great. The coverage of this is not as great as the KVD either. It's fine, but the KVD is just, it's levels above. So this is okay. I do plan on keeping this and like finishing it off, but it's not like this crazy good foundation. You know what I mean? Like it's fine. It works well, but compared to the KVD, it's just kind of sad. Also in this category, the Tarte Shape Tape Cloud Coverage. I have mine in the shade Fair Light Beige. Again, this is something that I feel like I'd pick a slightly different shade of. However, this is, and this is my issue, I feel like this has really good reviews too, but my issue with this is it's a little thicker. It's a little heavier on the skin. It feels like you're putting on a mask. It's very textured. Like it's just, there's a lot of, it's a thicker product, right? And I feel like with all of the other really nice lightweight foundations that I've tried and that I've really been liking, and I am like a full coverage queen, y'all, it's just a little too much. I mean, maybe in the winter time I'd like it a little bit more, but in the summertime with the serum foundations and everything, glowy skin, it's just not the greatest. This makes my skin look really good. It's just, it's much thicker. You know what I mean? Like I can get the same type of look to my skin using a different foundation. It does make my skin look good. And that's why I'm saying I think I might keep this as like a winter foundation, because I feel like it would work really well there. This does have sunscreen. It has SPF 15, which isn't the greatest. But as far as just like summertime sunscreen, or as far as summertime foundation goes, meh. It's not great. It's not terrible. There's a lot other better ones out there. I feel like for me personally, this is something that I would keep for like a winter time, a fall winter foundation, just everyday basic wear. It's not anything great. It's not anything out of this world. It's not really anything special, but it is just like kind of a stand up basic face makeup. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So kind of along the same lines as the Stila. And then the third one that is also along the same lines, in my personal opinion, is the Say Slip Tint. This one I believe I also tried out in a YouTube video. I could be wrong. I have the shade 2. This looks okay on the skin. It's not my absolute favorite, but again, it's not the worst either. It looks okay. It looks good. It doesn't look great. It is light to medium coverage. You can build it up a little bit. I feel like this is good for just kind of everyday wear. Probably because this is a tint, probably in the summertime. I don't know if it's something, like I probably wouldn't rush out and repurchase these foundations. I feel like this category of foundations, ranking number 6, all 3 of these, I have very similar pros and cons about all 3 of them. I would still, like I do plan on keeping these and using them, but these just are not foundations that I would rush right out and repurchase. These are, they're okay. They're good, they're not great. They make my skin look nice, but they are a little bit thicker, a little bit heavier. They're not, like it's a skin tint, but it's not a glowy skin tint. Do you see what I mean? They're good, but the other ones just have a little something better. They're more lightweight, they're more glowy, just something. So this is a 3-way tie for ranking number 6. And I'm sticking with that because my pros and cons for these are all about the same. Okay, ranking number 7. This is the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation. I have mine in the shade 0.25 SF 0.25 Mindoro. I had heard a lot about this. I finally picked it up, tried it out. My issue with this, it looks great on the skin. You put it on, it looks great. It's good, it's lightweight, it's got good coverage, it makes your skin look so dewy and beautiful. I love it. But that only lasts for a few hours. And then it starts to break down, and it breaks down very patchy. Now the weird thing though is using the same base products, because I tried a few days where I was using different base products, but I would try the same base products for like a couple of days in a row. Does that make sense? Using different base products, some days it would look really good, and some days it would look like absolute garbage. And I don't know, like, what I'm talking about wear time, and I don't know why it did that, and I can't figure out because it doesn't seem to really have any rhyme or reason. Like I was using the same primer and concealer for a couple of days, and one day it wore terribly and one day it wore great. Like same everything else, and I don't know what the difference was. So I feel like I'm conflicted on this because I love the way it looks when you first put it on, and I love the way it wears for, I'd say, probably 4 or 5 hours. After that though, it really starts to break down, and it breaks down really, like it just starts clinging to dry patches. It starts fading everywhere but the dry patches it's clinging to, and it just breaks down in a really uncomfortable way. I don't know if I plan to keep this one or not. I'm just so torn on it, and I genuinely don't know how I feel about it. So I'm ranking it at number 7 because there are worse ones out there. But I feel like I'm going to try it a few more times, and then probably, like I said, I might do more foundation videos, so I'll be sure to update you guys. But this one I'm just not 100% sure. You know, the funniest part about this is while I was trying all of these out, there was like 3 foundations that I tried in a row just weren't the greatest. And like, you know, a couple were like really bad, and then a couple were like really just meh. And I was like, am I doing something wrong now? Because now all of a sudden none of these foundations are working. And it's like 2. Like there's 2 in front of me that I'm like, oh, I hate you. I feel like this is going to piss some people off, but I can't. Do you guys remember when the e.l.f. Cc Camel Cream came out and everyone loved it? And on my skin, it was atrocious, and it just broke up, and it clung to dry patches, and it wouldn't blend out, and I could not make it work for the life of me. And I bought a second one because I was like, maybe this was just a bad one, and the second one did the same thing, and it was just an all-around nightmare for me. Do you guys remember that? This is the same thing. I've seen so many reviews on this. I was so excited about it. I love the other foundations from this brand. The other foundations from this brand are amazing, and I love them. And so I was pumped when this one came out, and I was like, yeah, this is gonna be great. It's gonna look so good. Perfect summertime foundation. I'm gonna be wearing this all summer long. And then I tried it. So coming in at number 8 on the ranking scale is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. I am heartbroken about this. I want you guys to understand that. I am destroyed, okay? Mine is in the shade 1 Neutral. It looks gorgeous on the skin. Gorgeous. Blends out so beautifully, but again, it's only for a few hours. It is very similar in that way to the Ilia Serum Foundation, and that is why these are ranked so closely, right? This is 7, this is number 8. They are very similar in that way. However, as far as just like the breaking down after a few hours of wear and everything, the Ilia did a little bit better. This, chaos every day. Now I will say, going on, it looks great. And for the first few hours, looks great. It's after that. So this is something, if I only needed to wear foundation for a few hours, oh, I would hop on this so fast. It's just after that doesn't look very good. And for me, normally I wear foundation all day long. And so I'm having a really hard time with this because it was very expensive foundation. Obviously, it's a very, you know, it's a very sought after foundation. And so part of me, it's like, well, I want to keep it because I'll wear it for a few hours. But realistically, I know that I won't. So I'm still undecided on what I should do with this foundation, if I should just pass it along to someone else and let them give it a try, or if I should keep it and just try it again. I might try it one more time, but thus far, it just, by the mid-afternoon, my face makeup looks terrible. It's just bad, and I can't, I don't know. I've tried it with different base products and I can't rectify the situation. So I'll probably end up trying it one more time before I declutter it, just because I need to know, right? But I don't see this hanging around my collection for very long. It just didn't work for my skin, unfortunately. But this is where it gets a little bit interesting. Number 9, ranking number 9, the KVD Lock-It Foundation. Do you guys remember this? I actually wore this when I got married. It's full coverage, extreme long wear, transfer resistant. Mine is in the shade Light 42 Warm. Not exactly my shade match, but whatevs. So I wore this when I got married, and then I was looking to buy, and I didn't realize I was going to end up with all these foundations because this was bought over a period of time. But I was looking to try out some new foundations, and I saw this on the Ulta website, and I was like, man, I haven't tried that in years. I'm going to get it. I'm going to try it again. And I tried it again. I wanted to see if it held up, because I wore this on my wedding day, right? It used to look great on my skin. I wanted to see if it held up. It does not. The issue is that it's so dry, and this is a new bottle. Like, I know it's not old, but it's so dry. It's such a dry formula. Has it always been such a dry formula? Like, maybe I just had a different skin type. Like, maybe my skin has changed a bit as I've gotten older, because like I said, I used to like really matte foundations, and now I'm going for like the more glowy skin. So maybe that's just a taste in my change in my tastes or something. But it doesn't. This one was weird because the other, like, I remember this being advertised as a foundation to cover tattoos with. It was so thick and had such high coverage, you could cover tattoos with it. It didn't work. This provided me with no coverage. I could see every freckle I had. The skin tints that have been ranked higher have more coverage than this. I don't know what is happening. I don't know if they changed the formula at some point, because it still says full coverage. I'm not 100% sure, but this did not have the coverage that it used to have. But it clings to my dry patches. It's not quite the right shade for me, so it just makes me look kind of like pale and dead. Like, there's no dimension to it. It just looks bland. It doesn't blend out the greatest. It doesn't cover as much. It just looks bland. I will say though, okay, I feel like I need to talk about this, because in most situations, this would be when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just declutter this one. However, one day I decided, I don't remember why, but I decided to try this mixed with the Say Tint. This is like one of the foundations that I thought was just okay. And then this foundation sucks, and I decided to mix them. And let me tell you, this combo, amazing. I don't know why, and I don't remember what caused me to be like, I'm gonna mix them. I don't remember. But this combo, I love. It's such a beautiful combo. It's still a little on the drier side because this is such a like wet formula and this is such a dry formula, if you get a little bit more of this, you know, it's still a little on the drier side as opposed to like using a tint straight up, but much better. It blends out much better when it's mixed with the Decay, and it has an easily adjustable coverage, right? Because this does provide some coverage when mixed with this. I don't know the science behind it, y'all, but these together give you a flawless, like almost kind of airbrushed finish for me anyway. And so I will be keeping the KVD to use with the Decay Slip Tint. Again, I don't know why these work well together. I don't even remember how I discovered it, but this is my preferred combo, okay? And I love the way that my skin looks. I don't love the way my skin looks with this. It's okay. I hate the way my skin looks with this. But when you combine them, it's great. Go figure. I have no idea why. That is my decree though. And then the last one. This one most definitely will be leaving my collection. I refuse. I refuse. And it's funny because I was actually talking to someone about this a couple weeks ago and they had said that they had the exact same issue with it. It is the Smashbox Halo Healthy Glow All-in-One Tinted Moisturizer. Mine is in the shade Fair Light. It's basically the e.l.f. Cc Camel Cream all over again. This clung to my dry patches. It broke up on my skin. It has decent-ish coverage. Same with the e.l.f. Cc Camel Cream. It had like decent coverage. But it just doesn't work on my skin. Clings to dry patches. Breaks up all over the place. It just doesn't melt. It doesn't work. It doesn't sit right. And when I would wear this, my makeup just didn't look quite right. Like even if you could get past the foundation being weird, nothing else really sat well like on top of it. And the whole thing was just bizarre looking. The worst part of it, the absolute worst part, this made my skin so dry. Even after I would like take this off, the few days that I wore this, because I wore it for a few days and then I was like, I can't make this work. I can't do it. My skin was so dry. It was unbelievable. That was what caused me though to be like, I can't use this anymore. Like it is destroying my skin. And the more days that I wore it, the drier my skin was. And it was just not, it was not a good fit at all in any way, shape or form. So this one, it's gonna go. Not gonna stay in my collection. Can't do it. It's awful. If you've had good luck with this, I'm really curious as to what skin type you have because it was just so dry. Oh, it was so drying. So drying. So that's number 10. In my personal opinion, the worst out of all of these. I can't do it. That is my rankings for these foundations. I feel like it's not what I expected it to be. Because when I had these foundations in front of me and I was like, I'm going to try these, I'm going to rank them, and I'm going to make a video about it. I had in my head where I would have like mentally categorized things, right? And it is not at all how it ended up. And I feel like this was really interesting to do because I feel like normally if I had to pick something that I assumed was going to be a favorite out of all of these, it would have been the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin. Because I love the other foundations from her brand. And it just, the claims, the reviews, fabulous. Why would this not work out for me? You know what I mean? And it's really interesting seeing all of these in front of me with the rankings that I've given them because it's not what I expected. And it really is eye-opening as to what I actually enjoy. So I'm debating kind of doing a series on my channel that's like an in-depth look into my collection where I try out everything. And I rank stuff and then we go through like all the products from each category, you know, declutter the ones that I don't like. So it would kind of be like a declutter, but really like a reorganization, going through, ranking everything, like talking about everything kind of in depth, figuring out what I really like. And I feel like that would also help in the future, just shopping habits and things like that. I'm surprised that I haven't done this before because I feel like with me wanting to change my shopping habits and only have things in my collection that I like, this would have been a great basis to start off with because this would kind of give me the subcategories. Like now I know that I like more of the serum foundations and then like just the skin tints and things like that. Like that seems to be what I enjoy more. I am interested in how all this compares to the rest of my foundation. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. I don't know, like this could all be just me just wishful thinking because that would be a project. That would be a very long series, probably taking the place over a couple of years, but it would be an in-depth look into my preferences, into my collection, into like my makeup drawers, everything like that. So if you'd be interested in something like that, then let me know in the comments down below, please. I don't know if I'm gonna do it yet or not. It'd be a lot of work, but it would be, I feel like, very beneficial as far as, I mean, just everything that I've said. I really do think it'd be beneficial, but would be a lot of work. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for being here today. If you've tried any of these foundations, let me know your thoughts on them down below. And also let me know what your holy grail foundation is. I know a lot of people really like that Shiseido foundation, and oh my goodness, Shiseido isn't cruelty free. I want to try it so badly. Also the new NARS one I've heard is fabulous. I am living in my jealousy land over here. But thank you guys so much for joining me here today. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit the bigger subscribe button below me if you'd like to see more of me, and I will catch you all next time. Have a great one. Bye bye.